Greetings, what's up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming at you right now with a live 1 vs 1 battle featuring spawning in the east. It's going to be the United Kingdom forces of SturmTigerSage6. And spawning in the west, it's going to be the Wehrmacht forces of Schoepsi, OPOF, LYF, who I'm just going to call Schoepsi. Both of these players, of course, returning players to the channel, so a very warm welcome back to them both. I'm very aware of the fact, there is somebody like operating a chainsaw or some sort of heavy machinery outside of my window somewhere, but it doesn't appear to be catching on the mic, I hope. If it is, I do apologize for that. Casting, what can I say? Anyway, yeah, SturmTigerSage, returning player to the channel. I actually just cast a game of his. He was playing against his clanmate, SturmTigerVorgo. It was also Brits versus Wehrmacht, and I have to say it was a brutally one-sided affair. SturmTigerSage6 taking his opponent apart in like 19 minutes with nearly flawless victory count on Minsk Pocket, and just an absolutely brutal display from the British player here, SturmTigerSage. Clearly feeling quite comfortable with the UK forces these days. Schoepsi, haven't seen him play for quite some time. I don't really remember much about his play. I must have cast him last a couple of months ago, probably. Looks like initially he's going to be going for the Ostripan Doctrine, so just press pause on the YouTube channel if you want to overview those abilities at your leisure. There they are. Of course, this one of the more transformational doctrines. This one allows you to play a very different style, gives you access to a completely different core infantry squad. The cheap and disposable Ostripan, a particularly potent choice, of course, against the British forces, because Ostripan in cover will completely be more efficient for a lower cost than and completely defeat Tommies, which is a bit disgusting for the British player when your 280 manpower squads, which are only 4 men, are getting beaten by 6 men, 200 manpower squads. You know, it's just, it feels bad. Let's put it that way. It feels bad. So anyway, quite the smart choice here then for Schoepsi. He looks like he's going to get stuck in immediately here. There we go, and as soon as the Ostripan are in cover, they get this accuracy bonus. And that's what lets them start trading really effectively against Tommies. I mean, it's basically a fair fight between the two, except that the Tommies only have 4 men and cost 280, so it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Doesn't feel good for the Brit. I haven't mentioned the map, of course. This is Kolodny Farmer Winter, one of these maps that's been in the map for ages. A personal favourite of mine. Always a pleasure to cast, always a pleasure to play on. Yeah, we'll have to see what these two players make of this, what can only be described as a venerable map, really. Been in the game, like I say, for rather a long time. Tommy's going to get up in a nice position here, but I mean, they're still going to be firing at, Ostripan in green cover. Remember, green cover not only gives an accuracy bonus, but also a flat damage reduction, I believe, of 50%. I'm not cruisy, but I believe that's what the numbers are. Let's see. We're up to 3 squads of Ostripan right now for Schoepsi. He does have the option to call in a 4th squad should he deem it worthwhile, or he might decide to mix it up. Let's just check the tech here. Okay, yeah, the reason I check the tech so early here is because when players go for this early Ostripan tech, they often skip the infantry company and go straight to the Leichter Mechanized company after battle phase 1 at an earlier juncture. This is one of the luxuries provided by going for the Ostripan commander. It does let you rush to that Leichter Mechanized company and start getting out Panzer Grenadiers much earlier. And the 1-2 punch of Ostripan Panzer Grenadiers is actually a really potent force, and it's really nice. And of course, you can always back tech to that infantry company later on if you feel like you need mortar squads or snipers or anything like that. So yeah, a really interesting commander here for Schoepsi, and it really does enable a lot of different options for the Wehrmacht player. Battle phase 1 has been rushed, and I imagine that we'll see the Leichter Mechanized command coming down sooner rather than later. As I said, that'll probably be for Panzer Grenadiers. Oh no, sorry, I thought someone was knocking at my door, but it's just the postman. So yeah, Vickers' gun here actually in a really good position, and that probably will be enough to push these damn Ostripan away. True. I just heard the British announcer say that enemy forces have destroyed a fort. Here we go. Trench here, going to be taken out here. These pioneers getting, these Tommies going to be getting interrupted as they try to construct the trenches there, and they're actually flanked by a lot of forces. They're in a nice backfield position. They have actually managed to take this cutoff point, so that's very frustrating. Look at the resources right now. The Wehrmacht player suffering quite a lot because if I crack the tack, you can see here, boop, there we go. See, just by cutting this off, that's actually robbing the Wehrmacht player of fuel and munitions and 2 other regular resource points. So good work there for SturmTigerSage, displaying his savvy use of the Brits once again. These Tommies are going to have to GTFO, I would have thought at this point. There we go. The fallback going to come down on them. You don't want to take a fight with Ostripan shooting you and an MG42 McDackering you in the back and things. Never looks good. And Ostripan actually making some gains down here in the south. They're going to vault straight through and try and get through to the fuel point, or indeed perhaps the cutoff point. Nope, looks like they're going to go for the fuel point, but there's Tommies in the hood, and these Ostripan have already taken a lot of damage. If the Tommies can find some cover to utilize their rate of fire bonus, I imagine that they're going to take this fight handily. Let's have a look here. Yep, I think they're going to take this one. Whoa. Yeah, just as I have a sip on my tea. Got a very nice jasmine on the go this morning. Very nice. Perfectly made, of course. So got the full range of flavour, the high notes, the low notes. Beautiful. And at perfect drinking temperature too. Looks like we got this Vickers here back against the wall. Gonna actually catch these Pioneers. Haha, forcing the fullback there. So a nice quick draw Vickers there from SturmTigerSage. Fastest MGs in the West. He's going to force back those Pioneers quite nicely. Let's check the tech here for the Axis player. So, indeed, the Like the Mechanized Company has come down. No sign yet of Battle Phase 2, but he could go for it if he wants to. Looks like we've got a preemptive Pat gun on the field here. That's probably in advance of the AEC. The research for which has finished, and the AEC is, in fact, on the field. Wow, it's right at the front. I didn't mention this, of course, yet, but it is completely standard for Brit players these days to go for the AEC. The plucky scout car for the United Kingdom forces was, of course, buffed, I would say recently, but it was actually a little while ago now, so everyone's reasonably used to its domination, and it is dominating, I would say. It is meta-defining right now. It's a rare game that Brits would ever research Bofors or even just not rely on the AEC these days. Not now that it's, you know, a fast, long-range, reasonably accurate platform which can ping back vehicles and devastate infantry squads too, particularly against Wehrmacht, who their squads are normally 4-man squads, and, you know, like, there are times sometimes when the AEC can just 2-shot the squads, or like 2-3-shot them, or just, you know, force a retreat and then just gun them down on the way back. So yeah, the AEC pretty spicy at the moment, which is really nice as a Brit player. It's really nice to have some more utility out of that unit. I never thought it was a bad unit anyway, but now it has a little bit more poke to it. I do worry about the Beaufort though, because nobody used it anyway, really, like outside of some niche cases here and there. And now there's even less reason to go for it. Like, why would you really want to go for a Beaufort? So I think there's some what can I say, adjusting that needs doing there. But I'm not Relic, and this isn't a balanced discussion, so I shall shut up about that now. AC here, how many kills are we on the AC now? 3, looking okay. Faust could come down off these Ostrich, and it does. Biff, there we go. That's going to break the engine. Double Faust, actually. It's a spit roast Faust here. Going to come down onto this AC. It is now quite stricken, although where's the Pat gun here for the Wehrmacht player? Nowhere nearby, yeah, so it's not going to be able to take advantage of this stricken AC. If it started moving now, it may just find it, actually. That could have been a thing, but anyway, here comes some British supporting forces. 55 caliber equipped SAS sniper. Gonna be the weapon of choice here for SturmTigerSage. Interesting in the face of, like, he hasn't seen a sniper yet. Ostripan players tend to skip the infantry company, so no chance of a sniper, I would say, for a little while. Okay, so the infantry company has been back-teched, but still it would be weird to see a sniper, I think. So this sniper, a bit of an odd choice. Of course, the other thing is blasting away at Ostripan. I mean, what, the reinforced cost on an Ostripan is 16, so they're not the most taxing of units to be blasting down with a sniper, you know, round for round. It's not like you're picking off Fallschirmjäger or even just Grenadiers. So anyway, but you know, maybe SturmTigerSage is just one of these players who just feels confident with the SAS sniper out on the field, and let's not forget it's a very useful unit. You get that vehicle disabling shot, and you also have the pyrotechnics flare. The vehicle disabling shot, of course, at Veterancy 1, but yeah, you've got that pyrotechnics flare, which is, you know, super useful to have mixed into your forces. Vickers gun here still in a nice position, but this flamer actually manages to get up into its blind spot, and that's going to do really heavy damage to the MG crew in the building. They are suppressed now, but that won't stop that geezer at the front from flaming away. Yep, there we go. There goes the Vickers gun. Going to be forced back there. Got a fight being taken here as a number of Tommies, just actually one squad, and the SAS sniper going to get kind of caught off guard by a nice concave of Ostripan here. The Tommy's going to get into this trench, but they're not going to do very well there, I feel like. They're completely surrounded. There's even a Pat gun in the hood. Actually, you know what? By focus firing these Ostripan who are in the negative cover, they're doing reasonably, and might actually force the fallback on a couple of squads. Here's the AEC to help out, but the Pat gun rather has that covered. Let's check the base here for the Wehrmacht player. No healing bunker. And the reason I say that is look at the health of this squad here that's falling back. It's super low, but there's still 5 men. So even when he adds a man, it's going to be like just slightly less than half health. So that healing bunker would actually have been a really nice choice. Royal Engineers going to try and get up onto this church, but it's already occupied by Pioneers. That's a fight they could take, but it wouldn't be especially efficient. So it looks like he's going to avoid that. Let's just have a look at the base here for the British player and check the tech. Weapon racks and 5-man squads have finished, so these Tommies now having a couple of Brens each. Or this squad has a couple of Brens. Looks like the other Tommies, but there we go. They're going to grab some Brens just now. So that's going to take care of the munition spending here for our British player SturmTigerSage. And those Tommies, going to be quite different from how they were earlier on. They should be easily able to lay into these Ostripin squads now with ease and just kind of dagger them down. That's now fights that they can take. And that's the thing about the British infantry, you know. To begin with, it feels like such a liability. You're wandering around with these super expensive squads, 280 manpower, 4 men, doing kind of okay damage, but, you know, like insultingly low when you're taking on Ostripin. But once you get your upgrades, they actually start looking really good, and of course that's what happens with the British forces. They are pretty spicy in the late game. Once they start getting their tech out, it's really does transform their army. So I just have another sip here on my drink. Vickers gun in a really spicy position actually here, and I don't know how this cover was taken out. I don't know if the AEC did it or if the Royal Engineers used their destroy cover ability, but this has actually opened this this building up here for the Vickers to be a really nice position. It kind of covers a bit of the fuel point here, covers this cut-off point, covers a munitions point, and right now SturmTigerSage doing really well. He's had double fuel for quite some time. His fuel income right now is 33 over the Axis players just 19. Both players tied on munitions right now. So Sage doing really well, pulling ahead. He'll be able to go for his company command post fairly soon, I would have thought. I mean, he could go for it almost right now. He just needs like another, 60-odd manpower. And then he can go for it, and I'm sure he will. He's got plenty of fuel income right now. MG42 team actually going to find just like the tiniest bit where they can claim this point without the Vickers gun being able to hit them. So nice stuff there from Schoepsi. And yeah, the Axis player really needs to get something done. If you look at the scoreline, he's down at 388, under 455 right now. So the clock is ticking. 2-1 the victory point status right now to the British player. And you know, it's fine. It's sustainable right now for Schoepsi, but he needs to get something done. And I kind of think like, I don't know, his army's pretty good. Like, Panzer Grenadiers are on the way. He also has the artillery commander, actually, the artillery field officer. The AEC just getting a brutal squad wipe on this MG, though. Oh, my God. And this is the thing, like, you have to look out for this now for Axis forces. Whoa, here comes a big move out, though. 3 Ostripin Pioneers and a Pack Gun. The Pack Gun gets set up with a nice arc. Biff gets the first hit onto this AEC, which is going to be forced to pop smoke. And GTFO, Vickers here in the building, going to start dackering down these forces. But there's a Flamer here, which is going to get up in its blind spot and start roasting and toasting. The British MG will have to fall back or burn to death here. So a nice move here from Schoepsi, who's going to get something done. He's also going to grab this fuel point at long last. He's really needed this. And he also needs to deny it to SturmTigerSage, whose tech is like far and away looking pretty good. SturmTigerSage not actually going for that company command post yet, actually. He just spent a whole ton of manpower on something. What on earth was that on? He just spent like 200 manpower. Okay, no, it was 400 manpower because he started building a mortar pit. Wow. Okay, cool. This mortar pit in a really defensive position, I feel. So it looks like he's expecting the battle lines to shift here. And I do like that because I myself have a penchant for placing my mortar pits far too aggressively, and then I just find them getting taken out before they've had a chance to be really, really as good as I expect. Sometimes they're still efficient and then get taken out, but it's, you know, you never want to lose them. So this one here is kind of like an insurance policy mortar pit, and it's always going to be effective, actually, and it's going to prevent the Axis player from really getting comfortably onto the offensive. So actually look at this as well. It has range all the way out to here, so covering a really nice kind of, I'm going to like, this is kind of the radius of its line of fire here that I'm tracing with the camera. So that's going to be really nice. But yeah, artillery field officer on the field right now. Let's just refresh ourselves with his abilities. So he can call in a smoke barrage, yep. He can concentrate fire, so infantry will fire with greater accuracy and vehicles fire faster. Good stuff for 25 munitions. He can also call in the regular artillery barrage for 80, and he gets the Veterancy 1 field first aid kit. So how much does he cost to call in? 240, okay. So a reasonable choice there for Schoepsi. The AEC is going to find some Ostripin here, and it's going to start blasting them. The Pack Gun is in the hood, but it's going to be slow to get into position. A Faust is going to get used, though. That Ostripin actually going to get the Faust, and the Pack Gun has this AEC in a really nice arc. The AEC is going to back out, needs to probably use smoke just to be sure. It doesn't use smoke, but that final shot from the Pack Gun is going to miss just by a tiny bit, so the AEC is going to live to fight another day, probably. Although, actually, Ostripin trying to storm on in here and cut it off for a final Faust or something. Actually, it won't be a final Faust. Not going to kill it, but mines in a great position there. I did not see Schoepsi deploy those. And Schoepsi, the wily old coyote here, actually getting some work done. That was a really nice fight, and he does pick off the British scout car. And with that, Kolodny Farmer is a map where whoever has like the one scout car in the early game, be it a 222 or, you know, a Lux or a Puma or like whatever, a utility car, whoever has that gets to have a lot of field presence, force his opponent into a more compacted position, control the map, and it actually means a lot on this map, I find. And also, you know, it translates into the mid game and late game. Whoever has the more mobile units gets to choose where the fights occur and things like that on this map, especially. So the loss of that AEC isn't just about losing the AEC, which has, like, you know, mediocre to good damage output. It's also just about it changes the dynamic of the way these two armies interact from now on. And it means that Schoepsi is no longer going to be quite so much on the back foot, and it means that SturmTigerSage6 is not going to quite have the initiative that he used to. Now, he's going to regain that in a large portion because we've got a Panzer IV nearly complete. It's going to enter the field momentarily, and we'll get to see what camo Schoepsi... Sorry, we'll get to see what camo Schoepsi has chosen. Hang on, sorry, I'm just... Yep. Sorry, let me rephrase all of that. Ignore everything I just said, of course. It's Schoepsi who's getting a Panzer IV. And it was SturmTigerSage who lost the scout car. So Schoepsi going to be actually taking that initiative, denying it entirely from SturmTigerSage, who's not going to be recovering it because a Panzer IV is a German unit, not a British one. Whoops. So yeah, looks like we've got the apple pie, autumn apple pie camo here for Schoepsi. And this Panzer IV going to hit like a ton of bricks, and there's very little, if any, anti-tank on the field right now for the British player. There is a 6-pounder here, but it's kind of out of position for the moment. So this Panzer IV going to get some good work done. No pintle mount upgrade coming on that one, so Schoepsi going to need to scrape together the munitions and get that coming. But yeah, this Panzer IV actually looking to push pretty deep here, coming all the way into the base. Wow, this is getting risky now. There could very easily have been mines on this ramp. There could have been anything. The British sniper here going to get a nice round on in there. Bang! Oh-ho-ho! Punishing hits, though, from the Panzer IV, chalking up to 5 kills, getting a nice hit here. No actual squad wipes, I believe. But, yeah, really nice stuff here. Gonna fall back now to go and hopefully upgrade with the pintle mount and repair, maybe. Why can I hear a Vickers firing? Ah, it's because it's firing from here. Whoa, these engineers getting up into this building, starting to flaminate the mortar pit. Nicely done. They need to just get out of the building and come around the side, because they're kind of getting picked apart here. And, in fact, they need to just fall back. Oh, the Vickers going to squad wipe them. Nothing going Schoepsi's way, seemingly. He doesn't get any squad wipes taking a dive, and he gets squad wiped quite badly there. He's also lost a squad of Ostrupin somewhere. I'm sorry I missed that. And this mortar pit just kind of making a mockery. I've seen such good hits landing in these sort of areas, and another hit there hitting those pioneers. The Panzer IV is going to be forced back. The boys 55 cal sniper doing his work there. Going to jam the turret once again on that Panzer IV. And look at the force now for Schoepsi. That looked like a really nice move out, but it wasn't. And here comes the Comet tank out of the British forces. The tank commander is finished, so the rate of fire is going to be improved. The accuracy is going to be improved. The Panzer IV now on the back foot, and there's very little in the way of support. This Panzer IV probably going to be forfeit. The Cromwell going to get all up into the rear armor here. And these two just kind of exchanging blows now, and it's going to come down to the RNG mostly, unless... I don't know, Panzerfaust has hit the Cromwell. This Panzer IV actually trading much better than I thought it would. Somehow, if these Ostrupin get on the pack gun, they might be able to seal the deal here. Panzer IV going to set itself to target vehicle. Bang! Getting another hit into the rear armor there really nicely. And this Cromwell is actually stricken. Panzer IV just juking and jiving. Going to kite back to deny the shot and then come forward for what could be the final hit. He gets the line of sight, but it's a miss. The Cromwell going to acquire the Panzer IV. That's going to be a glancing hit. The Panzer IV now on its last legs. Bang! The 6-pounder here from the south of the screen going to take out the Panzer IV in one of the better medium tank duels I've seen in recent times. I mean, that was kind of very back and forth there. Really nice. Very fun to watch anyway. Whoa! This captured MG42 is just going to mow down the Ostrupin. And that is all but game, I fear. SturmTigerSage6 dominating the map, has all the resources. He's not ahead on victory points, but... sorry, he is well ahead on victory points even. And look at the army here. Look at the army for Schoepsi. Let's do the old compare. Top right, top left, okay? Which army do you like better? You know? So that pretty much the story of the game right now. And I, like you, very much prefer the army of SturmTigerSage. That's the one I'd rather be fighting with out here. And yeah, Schoepsi's he's seen enough. He's gonna choose this moment to GG. SturmTigerSage getting it done in 19 minutes, 15 seconds, and looking dominating, claiming his second Wehrmacht skull this morning. That was the second game of his that I cast. The first one so one-sided that I decided not to upload it, and this one also very brutal. So, yep, as ever, my streaming settings and things are changing and evolving all the time. What I've done here is up the bitrate considerably because I know I'm recording to file and I'm not streaming to Twitch. So the quality of this video should be higher than the previous upload. Please do let me know your feedback if you think the frame rate was too choppy, if you think the sound's not balanced, anything like that would be really useful. Because, of course, I'm basically just tuning all of my settings and getting used to this new software ahead of this Sunday when I'll be casting the EU Go for Company of Heroes 2 842 Cup number 6. That'll be being hosted at my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/magpie842. So go on, head on over there, give it a follow or something. If you feel like doing that, and that way you'll be alerted. And of course, if you find yourself with naught to do on Sunday, tune on in, come chill with us. We're going to be having the best players in the game going at it for our amusement and entertainment in that tournament, and I'll be hosting that and bringing it to you live, and it will be my pleasure and honor to do so. So, yep, if you felt like tuning in, that would be bouse. I believe that's everything from me. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you about. Nope, not particularly, not at the moment, nothing coming to mind. So for now, this is Magpie842 signing out.